good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tea Time. That's right, it's Monday night. It is May 13th. Going to talk about my weekend real quick and then get to my guests. Friday I was in Philly. There's Renee, he's putting it up. Happy birthday, my dear Renee. Renee owns the Rim Cafe in South Philly, and Renee is in Gravesend, William DeMeo's show. We did not get to work together, but he throws a huge birthday bash every May in Philly, and some of the cast of Gravesend was there, so love seeing all of them. I can't put everyone's pick, but you know who you are, who were there, okay? Saturday we did Murdered by the Mob, and there I am as Bunny. We did that at the Iron Bar. It's at the Iron Bar in the secret room downstairs. It's like a speakeasy. It's really cool. So go to murderedbythemob.com. We're pretty much doing 2 shows every month throughout August right now. Sometimes we add shows, we delete shows, so just go to the website, check it out. Hope you come down. It's like going to an Italian wedding. Someone gets whacked, you got to figure it out. You eat, you sing, you dance, you drink. It's so much fun. We had people from the Carolinas there this weekend, Jersey, all over. People come from all over. It's so much fun. And then yesterday was Mother's Day. I hope everyone there's my mother, Jean Canastraci. Unfortunately, she's still in Florida because she had knee surgery, and we're hoping that she can fly home next month. So there's my mama. And then there's my daughter, Valerie, my gorgeous daughter, Valerie. So I went to see her in Bayshore yesterday with her, my new son-in-law. They're married 6 months already. Can you believe it? It's crazy. And then after that, I came here for limo talk, and it just happened to be Graz and I. Bobby was somewhere and Rich was in transit, so it was Graz and I, and then our friend Patrick Walsh came on, Pat Walsh came on, and he joined us, and it was a lot of fun as always. So tune in on Sunday nights, 9:15, right here, Limo Talk. And then before me, 7 o'clock, Georgia Rose, who I had on a couple of weeks ago. All right, so let me get to my guest, because I'm very excited she's here. She's an actor, she's a singer, she's a playwright, she's a composer. We actually met in acting class together. Doreen FIREstone, hi!
Hey!
How are you?
I'm doing well, how are you?
Good, I'm excited you're here.
I'm glad you asked me, thank you.
A lot of fun, yes. We met in James Siccone's class.
James class, yep.
A fabulous class, and that's a Ripley Greer Studios.
38th, I think, yeah.
I like to get back there eventually, but you know, life happens, right? And so I want everyone to get to know you. You're a Long Island girl.
Long Island, yes.
You actually went to Massapequa High School?
I sure did, like many other famous people. My husband and I were just talking about this 2 hours ago.
Really?
Yes,
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. So now after high school, and I'm sure you performed in high school?
Yes, I was one of those nerds.
All right.
It kind of saved my life.
Well, yeah. I mean, you always, first of all, you're an amazing singer.
Thank you.
Because I caught a couple of things that you did. But did you know where you wanted to go as far as college and what you wanted to do? Or like, did your parents say to you, like they said to me, you need a backup plan?
No. I didn't get the backup plan. I don't even know what I got. I just knew when I was 10 years old,
Yeah.
there was a lot of stuff going on in my life and my house and whatever, and I just immersed myself in being a performer so that I could kind of escape.
Yes.
And I used my talent. And then I found out, I was watching TV one day, the Merv Griffin show. I don't know if you remember Merv Griffin, Michael Douglas, whatever. And there was this kid on, and he was like famous, and he was my age.
Right.
And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And I never stopped. So when it came time for college, I actually went to school for opera.
You did?
Yeah.
So you are classically trained?
I'm a classically trained singer, yes.
Wow.
A mezzo soprano, so a little bit lower voice.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't even know anything about opera. It was just my voice, and I did it. I liked rock and roll. It was crazy. It was
You went
crazy.
to Purchase?
Yes.
And then you also went to Hofstra, right?
Yes, but many years in between of those.
And what
those things.
did you end up majoring in? You just
It was opera.
Was it? There was a major, really?
Yeah, opera major at Purchase.
Okay.
And then years later, when I started to want to write my own stuff.
Yes.
Because I had not finished college.
Okay.
I left before
Right.
I finished, so I said, I'm going to go back to school.
Okay.
And so I went to Hofstra
Yeah.
years later and did very well for that year. And I found out that I didn't have time to actually write the music, because I went for music composition.
Right.
And then I found out I didn't have time to actually write music by going there to learn to write music, which is
Wow.
crazy. So I left. So my whole training has been taking all these classes and studying on my own and
Right. And did you always sing as a kid? Did you always like sing all the time?
all the time, dancing all the time. Just
And is anyone else in your family musically inclined?
my dad was just an incredible pianist. My kids are very talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, extremely
They're
talented.
following in mommy's footsteps.
Yeah.
As far as acting, music.
Music, the whole thing. Yeah, my son is a classical. Well, now he's more than wants to do theater. Playing in pit orchestras. And
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll be in the pit on Broadway one day.
I keep thinking,
You
wouldn't it
never
be cool
know.
if I was on the stage
And he's in the pit.
he's in the pit.
That would be
I know.
amazing.
Because he did some shows of mine. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
As we go on, but
That's great. That's great.
He's done with some
But you
stuff. Yeah.
so after college, I know you performed regionally. You did regional work. You did at the Paper Mill Playhouse.
Yeah. That's a pretty
As well
cool
as
place.
you did international touring. You toured with the Sound of Music.
Yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah.
And then you did cruise ships, you did summer stock productions, you did cabaret performances, and a lot of them on Restaurant Row in Manhattan. You also played the lead in Carmen,
yes.
which is incredible.
Yes. That was scary. I took no. It was really cool, but it was scary. A part I always wanted to do, whatever. It's great to die on stage. It's great to die on stage when you're not really dead. It's an art, though.
It is.
It is an art. In fact, I'll give you a little side story. When I was at SUNY Purchase, in the opera department, they had this. She was lovely, but she was just a little bit whatever. But she was cool. One of the professors there, literally, she would just spend hours to teach you how to die on stage.
Wow.
And it was very dramatic, and
Yeah,
I won't embarrass myself or you or freak the audience out, but it was where was I going with that? So yeah, it was scary because it's like a 2.5 hour opera, and it was 2 hours of me.
Wow.
All in French.
That's a lot.
And I was always that person that had to know every single word I was singing. Mm-hmm. And I took French in high school, but
It's not
enough.
the
It's not
same.
the same. It's so not the same.
But I mean, it's amazing. I to hear someone sing in another language. And
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful language.
Yeah, and my girlfriend sings Ave Maria, and I'm like, it's like
that's wonderful.
It's beautiful, and you've got to perform, singing operatically, but also
The
not.
acting.
Yes.
The acting has to be there.
Yeah.
But I think I milked I remember looking back on it, I really milked it, the death thing. It was like, die already, you're dead. It was like, I was like crawling, and the audience
Just want to make sure every single person caught it. You know?
Exactly. It was just, it went on like a minute too long.
Just a minute? That's not too long.
No, when you die, it's pretty quick if somebody slits your throat. Not that I've ever, whatever, that's a whole other issue. You didn't think we'd get into morbid stuff today.
No, but who knew?
Who the heck knows?
Hey, listen, we're going to take my first commercial break really, really quick, but stay right there. Don't go away. More with Doreen when we come back. All right, be back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought. All right, so we are live, Paradise Studios, New York. Give yourself a round of applause for coming out tonight. Woo!
Well, hi there, Theresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Ttime on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Theresa. Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I gotta give some shout outs. I got my regulars are watching. Michael Norton and Ann Rothney, Greg DiFilippo, and some guy, Tom McDonald. Do you know him?
Oh, Tom McDonald. Who could you be? Tom McDonald, my husband.
He's
my hubby.
Thanks for watching, Tom.
Yeah.
Everyone for watching. Please like the show. Please share it. I appreciate
Yay.
it. And Rescuing Families, just shout out to Gina and Vinny. They are a wonderful nonprofit organization that helps renovate homes for people with disabilities. So you could always look them up, and they do flea markets, and they do a bingo night, and they do a casino night, and it's a great bunch of people working there. So Doreen FIREstone is here. She is an actor, a singer, a playwright, a composer. This woman sings opera, and I watched a few of your things on YouTube and what you had on Facebook, and I was like, wow, you can really sing. I mean,
thank you.
You really can. I mean, I could see you doing Evita. Have you ever done Evita at all?
No.
No, but I could see you in that role. Can you?
Well, yeah, I guess so. I just never really thought of it.
Are there any musicals that you loved growing up that maybe you always wanted to do or see yourself playing?
Well, it's very funny you're saying this because not that I thought of this when I was growing up, because I really never was into it. But when I was on my cruise ship, which was years ago,
right?
Performing, it was like 3 girls, 3 guys,
yeah,
and it was like a music review kind of jukebox type of thing.
How much fun is that?
We were called the Woo Kids. Actually, my husband called us the Woo Kids because we our opening song was remember celebrate good times.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Cool in the Gang. Yeah.
Right. And then we went celebrate good times. Come on, woo! And we just woo.
Yeah.
But
very theatrical.
Very theatrical. But one of the songs I sang, I was like the belter.
Yeah. I'm the alto belter.
Right. And I had the short hair at the time. I've had, as you can see, many different haircuts.
Yeah.
So I was known as, there was this one woman who said, you remind me of Lisa Minnelli. Lisa. Not Liza, but Liza with an S.
That's
Lisa with an
funny.
S. And one of the songs I sang was Everything's Coming Up Roses from Gypsy.
Yeah.
And that is, I would love to play Mama Rose.
Yeah.
So interestingly enough, over the past 24 hours, there is a call up in Rochester.
Really?
For the show. So I called my manager. I was like, I want it. So she's like, all right, just send it in and we'll
Okay.
see what happens. So
that's
that
cool.
is a role I've always wanted to do.
Well, I hope you get it.
Yeah, why not?
That's amazing. Speaking about haircuts, you've had like every haircut under the sun.
But you haven't just, it's
ever.
also every color.
We have, well, no, we don't have color, but I have
Oh,
a couple of
gosh.
you black and whites
Oh, Lord, help us.
from back in the day.
What did you do? You're a stalker. Oh, my
I
Lord.
am.
I haven't even seen that.
Let me tell you
Who
something.
Who is that?
Let me tell you something. It just reminds me of my pics back from the 80s.
Who is that? Oh, my gosh. Where did you, seriously, we have to talk about this later. Where the heck did you find these
They're
things?
all on your Facebook page, girl. That's where they are. Thank you for those. But, you
Oh,
know,
my
I mean,
God.
listen, we all have them. And
No,
back
and I'm like-
And back then, they were black and white.
Absolutely.
They were all black and white. I mean, but yeah, I mean, come on.
No, I was like,
But you've
she's
had,
cute.
but I love you in the pixie, and you've had the pixie in the past because I saw pics.
Absolutely. That was like
too.
I was talking about on the cruise ship.
Like you've had like every plethora of hairdos out there.
And then colors. My husband can attest to that. I was blonde. I had red. Red is the worst. When you have
It's
red,
not easy to maintain red.
Well, it wasn't even so much that. It's when you want to get rid of it, it stays forever.
Yeah, well, they have to
doesn't-
bleach it out and then put the color back. I never was red, but
Red. I was. Before this happened. So this was before this happened. Before this happened to me. Actually, this is 3 years this month.
okay.
So, but for about 10 years, I started growing it. And growing
Yes, your
and
hair
then-
was long.
And then before the pandemic, but definitely into the pandemic, it was like Elvira black. Like
Yes.
I had people like, oh, you remind me of and that's so limiting.
Right.
To be
It is.
Elvira.
It is. It is.
I have much more to me than Elvira.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know you do. I know you do. And you're very fair to begin with. So, you know, it was a major contrast.
It was. So this was a lot better. This was a lot better.
This one is kind of like, it's easy, wash and go.
It's
nice.
it's crazy.
I actually got my hair cut and colored yesterday, people. That's why I didn't feel like blowing it out today. So it's like one night slept on. But, you know, she
No,
did like
it's
a little,
good.
it's like a little flip thing going
But I
on at
like
the bottom.
what I saw. Was it a wig? I guess you wear
I
like
wear
the blonde.
Many wigs, yeah, just like in
Yeah, like I
Married by
saw
the
that.
Mob.
I really
a
like
long
that.
blonde.
No, the shorter one.
That's the one I had on.
I know. I
yeah,
saw that. I was
Saturday
like,
night.
I was like,
Everyone's like, "Oh, you look so good as a blonde," and I'm like, and then I have other people saying, "You look horrible as a blonde." So
no, I think it's just different.
it's very different.
It's just different.
very-
I like it both
But
ways.
people think that wig, that wig is real.
Because it looks very natural.
Yes, because a lot of people, because it has the dark roots and then it comes out, and then people are like, "Oh, I love your hair," and I'm like, "Thank you." It's so funny. But anyway, let's get back to you. So let's start. So cruise ships. I mean, how much fun is that? Seriously. I mean,
They are the
where
best
did you
things.
cruise to? You
All
must
right.
have cruised to like fabulous places.
All right. The funny part is now with my husband, he retired.
Okay.
And he's like, all right, we're traveling. So, like, in fact, we're going on a cruise to Italy and Greece and Croatia next month. That's why I said, like,
Nice.
So we're rocking that.
Love it.
But when I did the cruise 100 years ago, it was on a cruise ship line called Commodore, but it doesn't even exist anymore.
No.
Commodore was taken over by Holland America.
Okay.
So that exists.
Yeah.
So what do? We started off in New York, and then we went all the way up through Canada.
Nice.
And then, so that was a week. And then we did a repositioning cruise, which was really cool. You go from Canada all the way, down the East Coast into Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And then we went through the Panama Canal, which is very cool.
Nice.
Up through the Mexican Riviera, I guess would be that side.
Mm-hmm.
And then we landed docked in San Diego. So that was 3 weeks.
Wow.
That was a very
And
cool
are
one.
you performing every night of the week on the ship?
No, it's the cushiest thing. It is such a great gig.
Really?
At least ours was. We had two. I'm trying to remember. I think there were 2 shows a night.
Okay.
So we had a Broadway show,
Like a
and then
7 and a 10.
yeah, something like that. And then, so if we had 7 days of cruising, one night we had the 2 shows, and then a couple of nights we didn't have anything.
Right.
And then there was a pop, like a jukebox, they call it a jukebox musical thing.
yeah.
And that was 2 shows. So it was really 4 shows in a week.
Wow, that's not
And
bad
then
at all.
I think the only other thing that we had was during Christmas, because we were on for Christmas, we made a Christmas show.
Oh, nice.
Cute thing like that. And then the only other things that we did, what did we do on it? The only other things that we did were like schmoozing with the passengers.
Right,
who were,
which
and it
is cool.
And it was like such a small ship. It was maybe 600 people,
Oh, wow.
which is like, it was
Yeah,
like a little
that's tiny
tugboat.
compared to, you know, what
The
they-
big
what they
things
carry
now. Yeah.
So 2007, you did The Prodigal Daughter,
Yeah, that's mine.
and that is yours. You wrote it. You wrote it. You did the music for it. You performed it. It's considered a spiritual musical,
I call it a living meditation.
a living meditation. Do you hear this? Pay attention, people who are into this. A living meditation, and you actually performed it at the Manhattan Repertory Theater.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, do we have a, there it is. Thank you.
Yes, that is, okay.
And we got you on stage. There you go.
That's me.
There you go. That's you.
What
Thank
what
you.
you just saw was the it's not an album cover, because, well, I guess you can call it that. That was, that took a picture of Times Square.
Right.
And then he did all sorts of artwork to it.
Okay.
So that's actually Times Square.
That's put that back, please, Carmine, the one above her by herself. So you're saying that one is actually, that one's.
Which one?
That one.
That one, yeah. So
is
that's
actual
that's Times Square.
Leave that there a second. Go ahead. That's
Now,
Times Square.
the interesting part of it was we
Yeah.
wanted to put my personal life into that.
Right.
So if you look on the left-hand side
see
on
it.
top, that's my husband and I.
Okay, I see it.
We made it like it's a billboard.
Right.
And then
That's
underneath
cool. Yeah.
is my daughter is 26 now. She'll be 26 and
Oh,
my
yeah.
son will be 23.
Nice.
But there they are as little
When they were
ones.
little. That's
Yeah.
so cool that you personalized it like that.
Personalized it like
Thank you
that.
for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's.
So there,
I
my
love
family
that.
is in there. I try to put everybody together.
Yeah. So okay. So The Prodigal Daughter. Again, you wrote it. You did the music, spiritual, musical, meditation.
Do you want me to explain that?
Well, I just want to know how you came up with the idea. How long it took you to write it? Because obviously you wrote the whole
You have
thing.
3 hours, right? No. I'll make it short. I don't know how. So, like when I had said when we started that, when I was a kid, I did all this stuff to kind of escape,
Yeah.
The stuff that was
Because
going on.
sometimes reality sucks, and you
It did.
find an outlet.
Reality did suck. If I could be so bold.
Yeah.
So when I was 20 years old, I got sober,
Okay.
and that's why I left school.
Okay.
So it's, many years of sobriety. And I was raised in a Jewish household.
Okay.
But it was like, I used to call it Jewish by cuisine.
Okay.
So it was all about, the knishes and the bagels, but it was not a loving God kind of thing.
Right.
And then when I got sober, I wanted to learn about how I got sober, and I always wanted to get close to God, but I couldn't find that close, that
Connection. Yeah,
connection.
yeah.
And I was hanging out with people who did find the connection.
Okay.
And they found it in Christianity. And it was a long process, but I came to believe, and it saved my life.
Right.
So I got into trying to understand this saving thing
Right.
that happened to me.
Right.
And so it's like I was the prodigal daughter.
Got it.
So I took
So that's
I took biblical stuff in the
Right,
Bible,
right.
but I made it relate to everybody. Like there was no storyline. It became like I was just kind of like a vessel for people who were watching it
Right.
to find themselves
Ah.
in it. That's why it's a living meditation. It's
I
not
like that.
Yeah.
Living meditation. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what I wanted it to be.
I love it. And how long is the show when you did perform it?
I still do it. It just it just depends on when I get booked.
Okay, no, so it's still ongoing.
Oh yeah. No,
that's great.
It started in 2007.
Yes, and you're still doing it. So it's a matter of finding venues.
Finding venues, but when I started in 2007, it was bare bones. It was using other people's music.
Right,
and then
right,
it became.
right.
I started writing my own music.
Right.
Which is why I went back to school. It's
Yeah.
all dovetailing.
Yeah.
But the show itself runs about an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, that's not
And
bad. That's good.
and I think that the next where I would go with it is expand it to a full 2 hours.
Okay.
And then, because I've done it like off Broadway.
Yeah.
But then to bring it to off Broadway and eventually Broadway.
Right. That would be
Elongating
amazing.
it, yeah.
But you should definitely look into the Iron Bar where we do Murder by the Mob. That's a good venue.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a good venue. Yeah, when you come down and you visit,
Oh.
yes.
Oh, I'd
I'll
love
hook you
that.
up. I'll hook you up with the owner. Yeah,
Nice.
no problem. All right.
Keep it going.
2007. Okay, then 2010.
Yeah.
You performed plays, numerous plays, at the John W. Was it?
The Engerman
the
Theater.
Engerman Theater. Yeah,
Yes.
in Northport.
Yes, we did children's
nice.
children's theater. Yeah, it was very very cute. It was no, it was. You know, it's just on a Saturday morning. You have all these kids. You know, like
Yeah.
oh, you're the good witch or whatever I was. And, you're not the bad one. We like you. And it's like, okay, I'm waking up now. No, it was
It's
very
sweet.
good. It was very
it's
sweet.
It's sweet. It's nice.
I've done everything.
And it's nice. No, I know. And it's nice when it's actually like in your own backyard. And
Oh, absolutely.
You know, Long Island. It's a little. You know, it's not always easy to schlep to the city. You know, I know that. But in 2015, you started FIREstone Productions.
Yes.
So tell me why and how.
Well,
LLC.
LLC. Oh gosh.
LLC.
I have an LLC. Woo! That makes me. I'm
You're legit, girl.
I'm legit. I'm too legit to quit, right? No, this is actually dovetails with what happened with Prodigal Daughter. I was doing Prodigal Daughter, and when I first did it, I was doing it at churches, and I would pass the basket. Literally just pass the basket, and it was like you're making no money, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And then all of a sudden, I started getting, things started moving up, and I started getting flown down to Florida to perform, and up near, like in Buffalo,
So you
whatever.
you were
And
traveling
I started,
with it.
yeah, I was traveling. I was
That's great.
being paid well, whatever.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where, you know, I had to get some insurance, and we were like, you know, you might want to get an LLC to, you know, protect yourself or whatever.
Right.
And I have this LLC, and it's lovely. You have, you know, you have the paperwork, and you know, now it's, you know, now it's the next step with the process.
Definitely.
It's the next step with the process.
Well, my next step is to take my next break. So stay right there. Don't go away. More with Doreen when we get back after these messages.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Hi, I'm Georgia Rose, founder of Zenkuda. You can watch me on the Soul Space podcast every Friday at noon on Channel 20 for spiritual guidance. And as you all know, that is how I first opened into my own psychic gifts, was through the angelic realm, astrology. So we've got Mars and the Sun together in Scorpio, which creates a lot of combustion. In the astrological world, we call that a kazemi, and tarot. With the Four of Cups right side up, it means we have a lot of choices to make, and we're not looking at what's really being divinely given to us. We're too busy in the busyness of the choices to really see the divine intervention, the divine timing, and the divine guidance. We're the place. Watch the Soul Space podcast.
How you doing? It's Sal, the voice Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Theresa Canastraci Ttime with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Theresa on Facebook, Ttime with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love. Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. I'm with Doreen FIREstone. She's an actor, singer, playwright, and composer. She's a fabulous operatic singer. And so we're going to talk about 2018. 2018, you did Can't a Girl Get a Break?
I've been asking myself that question.
And that is a musical comedy.
Correct.
Whatever I watched was great, hysterical. I loved it. And you play Sage Advice.
Correct.
And she is a relationship expert. And the one song, you do many songs in the show, but the one song that cracked me up
Which one?
is called Hot Flashes and Reading Glasses.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny. It's just any woman of a certain age
Exactly.
can relate to it. And I know a couple
Exactly.
of people now going through hot flashes, and they're like dying. You know, 1 minute you're fine, and the next minute you feel like your head's in an oven. Okay, that's how it feels. Your face gets red. You start to sweat like you just came out of a pool. It's crazy. It's really
Correct.
insane. But Hot Flashes and Reading Glasses are one of the many songs that you wrote. You wrote for this, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about how Can't a Girl Get a Break happened.
Well, let's see. So Can't a Girl Get a Break was one of the first things that that I did, and I don't know. You see, my kids. Okay, so my daughter was born in 1998, and my son 2001, and you know when they were born, I made a decision that I was going to step away from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And it was definitely the right decision because it was just
I did too. I did too
Did
when I
you?
had my daughter. I did. I stopped acting. I stopped comedy. There was a certain period of time, and I think most of us, some of us, have to do that. You know,
Some people
sometimes-
could do it.
Some people can, but I mean, listen, it's not an easy thing to do.
No, and it isn't. But I said if I'm going to,
I don't think I could have done what I'm doing now when my daughter was younger. I didn't have the freedom, as much freedom as we have now.
I actually brought. You see, I was union at the time.
Yes.
I brought not my son. I think I brought my daughter
To set.
not to set. I brought my daughter to an audition.
Oh, okay.
You know, musical theater audition, and it was fine, but I was having strangers watching my kid outside.
Yeah,
It was like I walked outside and I left. I'm pushing her in the stroller out of the Actors Equity building, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is not. I don't think this is going to work. So what I did, I had always written when I was a kid going through what I was going through. I would sit there and write song after song in my room, and lyrics and music and all this stuff just to kind of like soothe myself.
Right.
And I said, you know, if I'm going to do something and really do something with my art,
Right.
I might as well do it on my own terms, and not be sitting on the ground outside of, you know.
Yeah.
You get to a certain age, and you know when you're in your 20s, it's okay to sit on the cold ground at 5 in the morning waiting for the Equity building to open up.
Correct. Yeah.
But you get to a certain point, and you have to have a little bit of dignity.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I started writing my own stuff, and that's really how it happened. But the idea of it was, I wanted it to be a one-woman thing because I didn't have the wherewithal at that time to kind of even think about other people
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just said, wouldn't it be funny? I don't know. I can't even say where the idea just actually came from, but I said, wouldn't it be funny if there's somebody who comes in and it's like an Oprah Winfrey.
Right.
Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
But then in the middle it has all like, you know, and it has a British accent. I did the whole thing in a British
Okay.
accent. And then in the middle of her show, maybe 2/3, she has a spiritual breakdown or a nervous breakdown,
Right,
and just everything breaks down, and she starts asking the audience for advice.
Right.
And I like improv.
Yes.
I love
yes.
improv.
Love improv.
And I like breaking the fourth wall.
Yes. Yeah.
And I like kind of not knowing.
Yeah.
A little bit of not knowing is
Yeah,
good.
because you talk to them and you actually bring them in and you talk to them. You talk to the ladies, you talk to the men, and you kind of like, you know, come into my world.
And there was one time when I've done this at libraries. So I won't mention the library when this happened. But it was like I was like, oh my gosh, they're ganging up on me.
Oh God.
We do the thing, and I get out there, and it was like I sang my song, and they were like this. They clapped very politely, and I'm like starting to talk to them, and all of a sudden they were like,
don't talk to us.
no, it was like all of a sudden they were very nice, and all of a sudden they go like this.
Really? Oh.
And they are just like the whole time they were like talking, and they were like, men were on one side of the room, women were on the other side, and they were having like a war with each other.
Oh wow.
And I was like, all right, children, enough. Like it was like they were like these children.
Yeah, yeah.
It was, but I handled it.
All right, no, yeah, you have to.
I handled
Sometimes
them.
you gotta put your foot down. You gotta
you have to
reel
put
them back in.
You have to reel the audience back in.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I totally
Exactly.
get it. 2019, you did Finding Your Voice, Living Your True Life, which was autobiographical.
Oh yeah. So.
Which
Yeah.
is very therapeutic.
It was very therapeutic. But I always try to make it that it's not a self-serving thing, because originally when I wrote the show, and I said Finding My Voice.
Yes.
And somebody said to me, they watched it and they said, it's not really finding your voice, it's the audience finding their voice.
Right.
And that's how you present it, so why just change the name of it? And I said, you're
From
right.
my to your. Yeah.
It's a big change.
Oh yeah.
It's a big change. Yeah,
Because it kind of like doesn't personalize it as much, and it makes it more general, I guess, for everyone else to relate.
Yeah, because
Because it's like now you're talking to me. You know what I mean? Right? In a sense?
Yeah, and it wasn't about me. I mean, yeah.
In a way, yes.
It is in a sense, because
Right.
if I'm going to help you to find your voice, I better be working on it for myself. But I didn't want it to be a cathartic thing. I can have my catharsis away from the stage.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's.
So what got you? Well, obviously you're doing shows, and you get your equity card that way, right?
You mean by doing my own shows? No.
How did you become equity then?
I became equity through doing Paper Mill. The 2 times I was at Paper Mill Playhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was
And
amazing.
then we're going to talk about movies and shorts and stuff that you've done.
Sure.
So how did you get your SAG then?
The funny thing, I have a manager and agent,
Yes.
and I'm non-union across the board.
You are, okay.
Non-union.
Okay. Because I still am too.
Yeah,
Working on my Jerry Maguire. I'm looking for my Jerry Maguire. That's who I'm looking for. My Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, no, I had my equity card, and when my kids came along, I just
Right. All right.
I got rid of that. I just said I doesn't pay to pay the dues.
Yeah, no, not right now. And there's more non-union than union, I think, as far as, but it also depends on what you want to do. Obviously, I know you sing. Do you play any instruments?
Yeah, I play piano.
Oh, you do?
That's how I write all my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Took
right.
lessons as a kid.
Yeah. And do your son or your daughter, they play too?
Yeah, my son, actually, he's graduating on Thursday from Manhattan School of Music.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Liam.
Yay.
And my daughter, Gabrielle, she's got a fantastic voice. She's a great singer, and it drives me nuts. She can get out of bed, get in the shower, and like sing like a
I
goddess.
can't. I have that morning voice.
But she doesn't have to even warm up.
Really?
I hate her.
Wow. Well, were you able to do that when you were her age, or no?
No, actually, my voice has gotten better.
Okay.
A lot. Oh my gosh. I'm lucky. It just keeps getting better.
I know a few singers out there that as they get older, their vocals are getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I still study. I still study everything. Voice, acting, like you.
Yeah.
You have to keep working at it.
Yeah.
Right?
So when you're not singing operatically, what do you like to sing? Like if you're driving in your car
okay,
and
so
you're by yourself?
I just need to kind of clarify this.
Yeah.
I studied opera.
Yes.
I did opera for a while, but it's all Broadway now.
Okay, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all Broadway stuff.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
what do you
What do I like to listen to?
listen to or sing to? You know?
I love Tom Petty.
Okay.
Tom Petty, Springsteen.
Yeah. Because
I
you said you kind of like a rock and roll girl.
yeah, I'm definitely a rock and roll
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
Definitely. In fact, my manager said, she goes, because I have, you have all your videos up and stuff
Yes,
on Actors
yeah,
Access,
yeah.
and she said to me, because I have all my singing stuff up, and she said, you got to put some pop stuff up. You got to put some pop.
Current. She wants current. Yeah.
And she said, it doesn't even have to be like, she said it could be like Carole King. It doesn't have to be
Okay.
that,
Okay.
just different.
Yeah, yeah.
So, that kind of stuff too. So I'm kind of opening up my
Good.
my
That's
my
good.
vistas,
No. What do I have to open up to? Do I got to take my? I can't see. I'm trying to see. Oh, we got like another minute. We could take a break. Another minute. Oh, Carmine's like getting ready. All right, you know what? Let's take my last break. Go ahead, take the last break. That way the rest of the show, I don't have to worry about it. All right, so stay right there. We'll be right back. More with Doreen. We're going to talk about movies and short films and what she's got going on and how you can see what she's doing, anything upcoming, where you could find her. We'll be back after this. Don't go away.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Hey everybody, it's Theresa from Ttime. What's my show about? I interview people in the entertainment industry, producers, directors, actors, and guess what? My show is on every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Channel 20 on Optimum TV. So tune in because it's fun, interesting, and exciting.
Doc, who's the best comedian you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best actress you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best cast member in Bad Boys?
Teresa Farrow.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrow.
Doc, who's your favorite guinea?
Teresa Farrow.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrow.
All right, Doc, I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Ttime. I got to get Doc back. I've had Doc on virtually, but I want his tush right there next to me. And
Oh, boy.
we're gonna make it happen. I don't know when, but we're gonna make it happen. But Doreen FIREstone is here. She's so talented,
Thank
really,
you.
just so accomplished. Writing her own plays and composing them and acting and singing. And we were talking about things that she's done in the theater, and then I want to talk about film. Because she's done some short films, which is, what we all do. But you did one called Silence.
Yes.
And then you did one called Ink Running.
Yeah.
And another one called The Itch.
Yeah.
Now, were they all in the same genre or theme, or were they different?
They were different. My favorite one of them, I did have the biggest part. That's all other.
Well, that helps.
That does help. Was Silence, and it was actually the story of. They're all very good, but this one was particularly my
Spoke to you
favorite.
a little bit, yeah.
Just the woman, how she wrote it, young woman. All these like NYU kind of things.
Yeah.
Very accomplished people, like to watch for the future. This was the story of takes place in one day, from. Like sunrise to sunset, so about a 12-hour period. There's this woman, she's a painter, and she is terminally ill. And she's feverishly trying to finish the painting,
Right.
her legacy.
Yeah.
And in walks this gentleman into her home, and all of a sudden she realizes that there's this gentleman there, and she realizes that this is actually death. Death shows up.
Death at her door.
Literally at the doorstep, walks in and says, "You have until sundown, and I'll be taking you home.
Right.
At that point. And so she has to come to grips with what she was not able to accomplish in her life. And it kind of spoke to me because for many years I felt like I haven't done enough.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, because there was so many things that derailed me.
Yeah.
So it really spoke to me.
Yeah.
In fact, when I did the audition, she gave us a monologue. Everybody who played I forget even the name of my part. I forget all the names. I just know it's either lead or or support.
Yeah.
It really spoke to me.
Yeah.
And she had us improv.
Yeah.
Kind of, and I put some of my life into the improv.
Yeah.
And
That's cool. So
yeah,
cool.
it was very moving. So I can't wait for that to come out. The one Ink Running was actually in the Ttime festival, which was back a couple of months ago in Manhattan. So that was placed in that. So that was the first time I saw myself on.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, because I only started to do film
recently
during the pandemic. I started studying that because I was like, well, it's time to come back to the professional world. My kids are older.
Right.
They're in college. And
it's all about the timing.
And you know, it was easy when you're doing it on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
You see the little box.
Yeah. And what about The Itch?
Oh, The Itch was this crazy.
Was it a comedy?
It had its comedic
undertone. Yeah.
It had comedic undertones. There was this young, beautiful girl, young woman, who was having this skin thing, and her skin was. They did a lot of the special makeup kind of stuff, and she meets me. I'm kind of like a sage advice.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was very trippy, kind of, with strange makeup and the lighting and woo.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen that one on sketch. Like when you film something and you go like,
it's so much fun.
How is that going to look?
But some people, they don't like to watch themselves. Some people, they don't want to see their work.
Do you like to watch yourself?
Absolutely. I do.
I do
because I like to critique. I like to watch it. Not critique. You can't go back and change anything, obviously, but I can watch like my mannerisms or how I delivered a line. I don't know if maybe it would be, if I would do it another way, or then I want to see if I'm in a comedy, I want to hear if people are laughing where I think they should be. You know what I mean?
That's what I like. Do you like theater or film better?
Oh, that's hard.
No, tell me. I'm just get curious.
It's so
about
hard
this.
because there's nothing like live theater. There's nothing like live theater.
I feel the same way.
There isn't. It's that self-gratification right away, and you're getting that reaction from the audience, and
And it's not like hurry up and wait, and then like wait for the next
film
thing.
it's a whole other animal.
Absolutely.
Whole other animal. And you did Earnestly Yours.
That was
which
fun.
was, you played Andella?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's the character.
She's like, oh, thank you.
That's the
I don't
character.
even remember the names of these things.
And that you just did recently.
Yeah, that was funny because I was only supposed to have, I was not supposed to have any, it was like a featured, but like no lines.
Right, yeah.
And so when we sit down, I was with this guy who was supposed to be my husband. He said, the director said, okay, he has this couple of lines and you just nod.
Okay.
And then at some point, I'm just going to point to you guys and you can just improv.
Oh.
For like about a minute.
Okay.
So I'm like, when somebody says that and you're not prepared, you're like, well, I wonder what's going to happen. And all of a sudden, I just started.
It clicked.
And I don't know, tell me if this has happened to you. I'm doing this, whatever I'm doing, and I'm going, is this working? What is going on here? Did I do it right? And then he sent me the footage.
Yeah.
And my husband, thank God for Tom. Shout out to Tom, my husband.
Yay.
He does all my my technology because I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not tech savvy.
And it bothers me. I don't
at
like
all.
it.
Yeah.
I'm like, teach me, but I really don't want to know.
No.
But I do want to know.
No.
So, but I looked back at the footage and I'm going, I know what I'm thinking, but I can't see it. I'm just totally in it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you
Yeah,
have
you
like
get
two.
in a zone. You just totally.
It's almost like you have
Almost.
two things going
yeah.
on. At like
yeah, because you're like in your head, but you're not in your head.
yeah, it's like there's this artist that's along with the person who's fully in the thing. There's this artist that's kind of keeping track a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I get it.
So you
I
get it.
totally get it. And I want you, actually, I want you to know that Doreen is on Facebook. It's Doreen FIREstone McDonald on Facebook. And on Instagram, it's Acting Doreen. So you could find whatever she's doing there, because I know, like you had mentioned that, the prodigal daughter is ongoing. So obviously when she's going to be doing shows, she'll put it up on, social media so
Absolutely.
everyone can know.
Absolutely.
And then of course I'll share it.
Yeah.
And everyone will know, where to go and where to see it, which is like really, really cool. But I also came across a picture of you.
Uh-oh, is this going to be embarrassing?
Is this martial arts? You do martial arts?
Yes, I do.
Are you a green belt? Do you have
Now I'm a brown belt.
Oh, girl, congratulations. Wow,
Yeah.
you a badass. All right, so now you're a brown belt. So how long have you been doing this?
Okay, so I was doing kickboxing. Kickboxing is not like...
I like kickboxing. I've
yeah.
done it.
So I did it like, at like the gyms. And
right,
like,
right, yeah.
but that's not it.
No.
So at some point I kind of got into one school,
Right.
stayed there for a little while,
Yeah.
whatever, but it was always kickboxing.
Okay.
And I started to watch people actually doing, well, it's all martial arts, but doing karate
Right.
and whatever. And I was like, oh, that's not for me. I can't do that.
Okay.
Like, you know how you make these rules
I
up?
want to. I so want to.
But all of a sudden, I was just like, I can do that.
Yeah.
So it was the beginning of 2019. It was about a year before the pandemic.
Uh-huh.
And it kept my sanity.
Yeah.
During
Yeah.
I mean, it was the craziest thing. I would put up my computer and I would do it on Zoom.
Uh-huh.
And he'd be watching
Good old
me.
Zoom.
And I'd be doing all my things. And can you see what I'm doing? Can you see if I'm doing combination number or whatever?
Right.
It was funny.
So now what exactly did you get your brown belt in? Because I know there's different forms of martial arts.
This is called Kempo.
Oh, okay.
Kempo. It's like karate. There's kung fu in there.
Yeah,
There's a whole
yeah.
bunch of stuff. I don't even know what's in there.
Wow. You write that down on your skills. You got
Yes,
skills.
it's in there.
That's
It's in
part
there.
of your skills.
It's in there. Sometimes I go,
You could become like a stunt woman.
but don't scare me. But like I'm going, will somebody then like think they could just like come at me and kill me on set?
No. Oh
like
my God,
like how much
no.
like how good do you have to be?
Oh my gosh.
That's why
Yeah,
I question
yeah.
like do I really want to do that? Do I want to
No, but it's nice. Listen,
is she the
I just-
female Tom Cruise? I mean,
we're not tall people. We're small people, and I think it's important to be able to
it
defend
is.
yourself. So for me, it's more of a defense.
It is.
I'm not looking to kick anyone's behind. I'm just looking to defend myself. If someone comes up to me and I know, what to do. I think that's more important than anything else.
You come with me.
I'm so going to come with you, definitely. And what's this? You just started a series.
Oh, my writing
Called
thing?
Best News I Heard All Day. And I
yeah.
have to say, I love this title because it just sounds like it's all positivity. And we need so much positivity right now.
The reason I actually did it was because on my phone, everybody who's close to me knows about my crazy phone. Did you ever see on a phone it has like notes? You can do like a note section?
Yes.
Okay. On my phone, I have a section of, I pin the ones that are original.
Okay.
And anything I have of other people's, I keep it separate.
Okay.
So without exaggeration, I have about 9,000 of other people's stuff and about 5,000 notes of my stuff.
Wow.
And I wanted to write a book.
Okay.
And so I said, if I can start putting things up on Facebook, just little thoughts,
Right.
and do this, it will be me getting things out there.
Yeah.
So I did it for about 6-7 months daily. And one day I was like, I don't feel like doing it today.
Okay.
And then it became like 4 months, 5 months of not doing it. So actually today, this morning, I started it again.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Look at that.
And then you called me.
Best news I heard all day. So people just go to your Facebook page and
Yes,
just
it'll be
see
there.
it there?
I'm committing it. Everybody, you hear me? I am committing that I am going to do this. Even if, and the most important thing is not that it's good or bad, it's just that you do it.
Yes. Just do something. I agree. I totally agree. All right, listen, we gotta wrap up already. See how fast this
We were having
goes?
such a good time.
I know. I'm gonna have to bring you back. But Doreen FIREstone McDonald on Facebook, and Acting Doreen on Instagram. Anything she has, she'll put up, and I will share it. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Oh, you're very welcome. I go by Doreen FIREstone as a professional person.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
what.
with the
That's what's on
hyphen.
IMDb. Is just yes,
Yes,
FIREstone. Yeah.
but I thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, I'm so glad you were able to do this.
You're
Seriously.
and you do such a great
Thank
job.
you.
I'm so impressed with how you do
I
this.
appreciate it. Hey, listen, thank you everyone for watching Tea Time. I appreciate the love and the support. All right, remember, tell everyone you love them, and I'll see you next week. Ciao, everybody.